What up, y'all? Mr. Z Nation, aka Savage, I'm a Junction Rafa. Welcome to another episode of the Megacolony Trap House. Today we're gonna have a little doozy, something that I should have came out with 2 weeks ago, but that's besides the point. The point is, we finally doing this. I'll actually give a quick reason as to why this took so long. So today we're going to be doing the round table of Megacolony waifus. Yeah, that's right. We doing Megacolony waifus today. That's right. We're making a whole list of Megacolony waifus. Now, here's the thing. So reason why this took so long is because I tried to attempt to record this a few times, and every single time it ended up over 2 hours. There's no way in hell I'm trying to make a video like this in over 2 hours. So I had to recollect myself and actually think about this. You want to know why? Because there are 40 fucking waifus in what Megacolony to actually go through. There are 40 females to actually go to, and instead of just actually doing like a whole tier list, I decided that I was going to do minus Gridora. I was going to do 2 waifus per grade. So 2 waifus in grade 0, 2 waifus in grade 1, 2 waifus in grade 2, same with grade 3, and definitely the strides. Now basically this round table is going to be a total of 9 people. Is 9 waifus, and Gridora included, because she has to be included. She's the queen of Megacolony. Why wouldn't you not put the queen of Megacolony in the round table of Megacolony waifus? We're gonna be doing this though. So, what are the requirements for the waifus to enter the round table? Well, for one, that particular waifu has to have some type of significance at any given point in Megacolony's timeline. The second one is it has to be reasonable too. There has to be a good reason as to why I had to choose this particular waifu to actually be included in the Megacolony Roundhouse, a waifu table. I'm still working on the name. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that was one thing I didn't put into mind. Something that doesn't sound super cringy, but sounds actually somewhat plausible. But anyway, let's get on with this. Oh wait. Actually, before I start, grade zeros does not really count on this, because let's be real, every single trigger at one particular point is at one particular point, every trigger is viable regardless if it's a vanilla trigger or a trigger with an ability. With all of that being said, let's get this started. So, my nomination for the first waifu in the grade 0 lineup is Cocoon Healer. Cocoon Healer, in my personal opinion, looks interesting. I love her card design. I've always loved her card design, to be honest. It looks interesting. It looks like she can be your sugar mama. It looks like she's styling and profiling with like her silk and everything else like that. I was actually hoping that they were going to bring this card into like V series, but they didn't. That's kind of like sad in a way. But at the same time, man, I was actually like hoping they was gonna put this in Z. I mean in you know the V series, but they didn't, and I'm kind of like low key sad. But then again, like the one heal trigger waifu we did get in the V series isn't really that bad either, to be honest. But I just like Cocoon Healer's design. It looks kind of like 50-ish. I mean, not 50-ish, 70-ish. And like I said, she looked like she you know, like treats you right with some money and whatnot, to be honest. So we definitely have to put her, you know, as a thing. And like I said, despite it being a vanilla trigger, she still somewhat was like a somewhat of a choice in, Mega Colony's thing. Then next up for our next grade zero, we have, and this was a hard choice. This is a hard choice because it was between Snow Trick and Makeup Widow. To be honest, I'm gonna have to choose Makeup Widow. I'm gonna be real with you on that. Yes, I love Snow Trick. Don't get me wrong. She's definitely gonna be a runner up. We're gonna definitely have a runner up section. But I had to pick up Makeup Widow. Yes, I'm gonna be real with you. Even though it was a very short time, Makeup Widow did give us the counter charges that we definitely needed. And, in the mid of the G era. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I will admit she wasn't that good of a counter charger because you had to wait to the end phase and you had to sacrifice columns in order to get something counter charge. Especially when we had something like Octaranis, for a prime example, that took two counter charge in order to use. I'm gonna be real with you. We still Makeup Widow still somewhat carried us in a way, so I can't really be mad at that 100%. So yeah, I definitely have to say, technicality, she did treat us right. She did treat us right, so we have to treat her right back. She deserves to be in the round table of Megacolony waifus. Still working on that name, by the way, but. And of course, our runner up is Snow Trip because I will admit, despite that she has a dirt face, though, she has a low key bomb body. I'm not gonna lie on that. Another one that I thought about being a runner up was machining. Honeybee was another one, but I felt like that was like way too much like to put into. But she was definitely like tier one though in a way. So yeah, overall, Coon Healer and Makeup Widow is definitely going to be the grade zeros to show up in this lineup. Alright, so on to grade ones. Now this next one is going to be kind of weird, but it's kind of understandable. Black Spotted Flash Gun Palare. Now for anybody who don't remember this was like way back in the day, to be honest. She wasn't really used that often. I'm gonna be real with you on that. But I do like her design a lot, and I'm gonna be real with you. Like the the waifus in the grade one lineup was pretty hard to decide, to be honest. But I'm gonna be real with you. Like this one is going purely on art. Despite her not being used that often, but yeah, I feel like this is more part of like art instead of actually being like useful. So, but I will admit, man, like the art looks amazing. It looks great. Um, it also feels slightly out of place because she feels the most monster girlish compared to everybody else in Mega Colony in general. Like every once in a while, we'll have something that looks like a monster girl and whatnot, but not to this particular extent in a way. But yeah, we can basically say that she is definitely a Mega Colony waifu. I would actually be surprised if like there was some people who would say like, oh well, there's like this one and that one, but I'm be real with you, she definitely fits the thing. She definitely does. So obviously we're gonna give Polly Ray. I think that's how you say her name. We're gonna give Polly Ray, the benefit of the doubt. She's definitely Mega Colony waifu material. Alright, so the next one. I think everybody will either fully agree with me on this or fully disagree with me on this. But here it goes. Paralyzed Madonna. Before you say anything, hear me out. Paralyzed Madonna was our very first PG in Megacolony history. Not to mention, she held it down. She held it down. Let me explain how she held this down. She held this down basically because we never really had another PG until Soul Strike gets to Supreme. Yes, we did have Machine and Ladybug, but that was a quintet wall, and let's be real, the quintet wall can only do so much. You were only playing that shit at 1 or 2 at most. The only reason why you were playing it at 2 is because it had Machine in its card name. But before that card existed, we had Paralyzed Madonna. Now let's be real on that. This was also at a time where you had something like Kagero, for a prime example, that had 3 PGs, my guy. 3 PGs. I think they had 3. I think they had like either 2 or 3. Because I remember they had more than just I forgot what his name is, but you know, I know they had like more than like 2, to be honest. And then they had the quintet wall. Then they were constantly getting more PGs. And I mean, you got to remember that this was at a time where like any clan that was considered the quote unquote main character or main antagonist clan had multiple PGs. When then you had something like Megacolony or Great Nature that only had to stick with 1 PG. Like, let's be real on that. We had to stick with 1 PG in general. And like I said, man, Paralyzed Madonna, we've been through so much. There's no reason not to include Paralyzed Madonna, to be honest. So yeah, Paralyzed Madonna deserves a spot. She deserves a spot, man. No ands and buts about it. I know that's gonna be somewhat excluding though, but it's whatever, man. Then there was actually 2 runner-ups. There was 2 runner-ups. And there's some of the newer units. One was Disturbance Mutant Morsi Roro. And the second one was Small Captain Butterfly Officer. Now, I'll be real with you. I like both of these cards a lot. One of the things that I like about Butterfly Officer's design in general, she reminds me of Tanya. From that Tanya, the evil a isekai and whatnot. She reminds me of her in a way for some odd ass reason. But I do like the whole like whip thing. It's hilarious. But she has carried us throughout, you know, the whole V series and whatnot. So you can't necessarily be 100% mad at that. And then there's Morsi Roro, where even though she wasn't super essential, I feel like that she was a good addition to like the whole cradle marker mechanic. And I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like if she wasn't limited to being a once per turn ability, I guarantee you, Megacolony would have been doing so much shenanigans. It'll be ridiculous. I'm gonna be real with you on that. Like, if it wasn't for the hard once per turn, I think this card would have seen a lot more play than usual. I don't even think it really would have broke the game either, to be honest. But I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna probably do like a video sometime, like a card spotlight on her sometime, and pretty much go into discussion. But I actually wanted to ask around for other people, like, hey, if Morsi Roro didn't have the hard once per turn, how busted would the card actually be? So, with all that being said, let's get on to the grade 2s. Alright, now, this next grade 2, I will admit, it had a kind of a short run, but let's be real, she looks too much of a waifu not to include her. So, next up is Cyclic Sickle Milton Artiscyphe. Oh my god, like, okay, I will admit this, like, around the time this card came out, and around the time this card came out, and I was playing, like, against, like, a few friends, like, even people who didn't really like the Megacolony designs, they were still kind of sort of thirsting off of this card. I'm not even gonna lie on that. They're all like, "Oh damn, she looks sexy as hell." I remember that. It's like I remember a couple of my bougie friends over there talking about like, "Oh, you play with them ugly ass bugs," and then they saw this car and they had their whole opinion change. Let's be real on that. It's all like, yeah, she kind of sort of saw some play like pre Gridora era of Mega Colony, like around this time this card came out. But like at the same time, man, this card, this card was definitely worth it. I'm gonna have to definitely put it up there with like the round table, the council of Mega Colony waifus, man. Because like, let's be real, she deserved a spot. She got some pretty good assets on her. She's using the dark device pretty well and whatnot. Shit. There was like a few other cards that I actually wanted to put into consideration too. Like Cocktail was a prime example, but I was like, Cocktail was good, but this card was actually essential at the time because you wanted something that was very effective, but didn't really waste counterblast. And this card was effective because it was just a basic that you can do as long as Dark Device is activated. It wasn't tied down to the generation break and stuff like that. So honestly, this card was definitely worth it. So yeah, she deserves to be in the council or the round table of Megacolony waifus. Next up, we have the card that kind of sort of saved Megacolony in a way. Uh, and I bragged about this card a lot. Hold on, I bragged about this card a lot, to be honest. So Death Spoiling Mutant Sticky Bolus. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I would not be surprised if nobody really sees her as a waifu, but hear me out. She did kind of sort of put in that work. Not just inside Gridora, but outside of Gridora. Wait, that sounds bad. Not just not just with the Gridora deck, but outside of the Gridora deck too. But yeah, that kind of sounds weird. But anyway, oh, I'm having too much fun with this. Yo, Sticky Bolus is a card that you can use outside of the Cradle Marker mechanic and still do pretty good. You don't necessarily have to use her first ability. You can just go strictly on her second ability, especially if the deck that you put her in can use Cradle Markers very well. But it doesn't even matter. As long as your attack is 20k or higher, you get to draw the card with a cost of a Soul Blast. So yeah, this card did put in work despite putting her in Gridora or not putting her in Gridora. So yeah, she definitely deserves to be in the Mega Colony Council round table of Mega Colony Housewife. I can't think of a name right now. Oh my god. The round table of Mega Colony Wife. How many times have I actually changed his name? I changed the name so much, it's ridiculous, bro. I changed the name so much. It's ridiculous. But let's see. Like overall, she's definitely there. If I had to choose a runner-up for grade twos, it will be well-dressed mutant Algo Billbug. Algo Big Billbug, I think. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. She's more in the cute side of things, not the sexy side of things. And not saying that every waifu has to be instantly sexy. They can also just be hella cute. Like, she looks adorable as hell. Yeah, she looks very adorable as hell. She look low key. She looks like she can be She looked like she can be Phantom Black's sister in a way. Like low key, I would not be surprised if like both of them are siblings, because it definitely looks like that. It definitely looks like somebody like did a whole gender bent version of a Phantom Black and like put her on there as well. But yeah, honestly, I could definitely see her as as very cutesy. She's adorable as hell, which is the reason why I'm putting her as a runner up instead of like an actual waifu. So with grade threes, what do we got? Now here's the thing. The grade three lineup is the only one that didn't really have any significance. So the grade three lineup is going solely based on visuals. Because let's be real, Gradora is definitely there. No ands or buts about it, but we do gotta choose two other grade three units to put in this particular thing. And I finally decided who I was gonna put in there. The grade 3 lineup is also the lineup that I don't think deserves. Well, I'm not going to say deserves, but the grade 3 lineup is the only lineup where I feel like that there's no runner-ups in this whatsoever. So, the first one that I wanted to choose was Despot Mutant Antoinette. I like the pun in this because it has ants in it, but but still, this card was kind of sort of used. Like this was one of those ability like searchers, like when you place it on the Vanguard circle, that was used back in the day. Like everybody had one. Like I remember like Royal Paladins had one with Brave or um Aquaforce had one with Wave and everything else like that. Like I know like everybody had that one particular grade 3 that you counterblast, soul blast, after placing on the Vanguard circle to look at the top 5 to look up for any card that had the keyword ability of it, and this was basically it. Now the other effect, the rear guard ability, um it wasn't super useful though, but you can still use it regardless. Like this was just basically, we're just gonna use it to search and call it a day. The other ability was kind of sort of 50-50 though, but still worth it regardless. Anyway, so the overall, I definitely feel like that she definitely deserves a spot. In the second one that I was gonna put up was Bewitching Officer Lady Butterfly. Now this is kind of sort of a similar reason as to why the grade 1 was also put in there. Like I said, both of the grade 3s are there specifically for visuals. She doesn't really do much. I mean, she probably did like back in the day because like a 12k B stick back in the day really wasn't that bad of a ability to use. But still, she had like somewhat play. I'm gonna say she had somewhat play. Like if you were talking about caveman Vanguard, like not just OG Vanguard, I mean caveman Vanguard. Like like when regular beat sticks like was actually a thing. Like when beat stick Vanguard was a thing. Like like that type of caveman Vanguard. Like that you can actually like do some decent damage with that when you're not really being flashy. You're just like, oh, this gains X amount of attack, put it in the deck. You know, this was basically that particular card in general. So yeah, Lady Butterfly and Antoinette is definitely cards that definitely deserves to be in the Roundhouse Council table, Maple tree of Megacolony Waifu. Oh my, I'm having too much fun with this. I haven't had too much fun in like recording a video in a long time, so this is actually pretty cool, man. Last but not least, we got the grade 4s. Now, I decided that one of the grade 4s was going to be a G Guardian, and I decided that that G Guardian is pretty much going to be Feather Wall Mutant Deity Morphesian. I think that's how you say her name, Morphesian. Now, originally, it was going to be Relish Lady. She's going to be the runner-up overall. I was going to put Relish Lady, but I definitely feel like I like Morphesian's aura compared to Relish Lady. Like, don't get me wrong, Relish Lady is cool, but Morphesion, she got that mommy Dami vibe. I'm gonna be real with you on that. I think that's honestly why I chose her over Relish Lady. Yeah, Relish Lady, she definitely looks like a waifu for sure. She definitely got that swagger and everything else like that. But I'm gonna be real with you, Morphesion has that mommy Dami vibe, and that's what I like the most about her. It's all like, overall, when you look at Relish Lady, she looks all classy and stuff like that. And you know, when somebody's taking her out, you all like, oh, well, I'll have her home before midnight. With Morphesion, she tells her dad that, oh, I'm gonna have my boyfriend home before before midnight. Yeah, it goes the other way around, my guy. And last but not least, the grade 4 that I'm definitely choosing is Poison Sickle Mutant Deity Overwhelm. Why not choose Overwhelm when where she basically has been carrying Megacolony since day one? Like, let's be real on that. She been carrying Megacolony since day fucking one, bruh. There's no way in hell you can't add her to there's no way you cannot add her. There's no way in hell. It's all like, she's definitely carried Megacolony for such a long time. I do like her design a little bit though. She doesn't have like the worst design. The design is definitely there. She looks fabulous. Let's be real on that. Overwhelmed looks fabulous though. She really does. She looked like she definitely styling and profiling. So yeah, she definitely deserves and has all the right to be in the Megacolony Council Snoutzel of Megacolony waifus. Oh yeah, she definitely deserves the overall spot. So let's do a quick breakdown as to who made it into this particular spot. So you have Ghidorah, that is definitely head honcho, head motherfucker of the council. But then you also have Cocoon Healer as the Grade Zero representative, and Makeup Widow as another Grade Zero representative. Then you have Paralyzed Madonna, and then you also have Pally Ray, or Poppy Ray. I think, yeah, Poppy Ray. I think that's how you say her name. So then you have Poppy Ray and Paralyzed Madonna as the Grade 1 representatives. You have Artist Scythe and Sticky Bolus as the Grade 2 representatives. You have Antoinette, and you also have Lady Butterfly as the Grade 3 representatives. And last but not least, you have Overwhelm, and you have Morphesion as the Grade 4 representatives. And there, my ladies and gentlemen, you have the Council of Megacolony Waifus. Here, right here in your face. Now, of course, the runner-ups, for clarification, is Snow Trick, Butterfly Officer, Morphesion. We have Algo Billbug as the Grade 2. No Grade 3 representatives. And last but not least, Relish Lady. They're all representatives. They kind of sort of deserve to be on the thing though, but I didn't want to take up too much space. So if you want to count them as the Megacolony Waifu Round Table, you can definitely count them in. With all that being said, I will see everybody next week. I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. I just know that there's a couple of very important videos that I need to do, and some catch up that I also need to do as well. But with all that being said, my name is Mr. Zoo Nation, aka Savage Armor Jones Giraffe, signing out. This has been the Megacolony Trap House Podcast.